All right, welcome to our friends on Facebook. We'll just get our recording going. How's it going? And let us know where you're coming in from. If you're watching this live, I'm going to record it as well. So today we're going to talk about the 4 things that you need to do to build your business in this industry. And, sometimes we get very technical about a lot of things and, in the weeds and talking about certain tactics and strategies. But let's stick with 4 basic things and remind ourselves what those 4 basic things are that we need to do to build in this industry. The network marketing industry is the industry that I'm talking about. And, you can read something I like about leaders like Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, and others who are able to, bring us good strategic training, but also bring us back to basics. I was at an industry event just 2 weeks ago and had a number of 7- and 8-figure earners sharing with us. And, one of them, I think, did a nice job of really just kind of taking us back to the big vantage point in terms of network marketing. There was a lot of great tactical and detail and kind of technical training and strategic training there as well. But I'd like to, give you those 4 ideas that I kind of pulled together and synergized from what I've learned. And let's think about it. So you got a pen and paper, write them down, because the other thing that I always encourage people to do is when you learn something, teach it to others. All right. So these are going to be 4 things you need to do to build your business in this industry. The first one, always remember this is a word of mouth industry. Now, it's word of mouth, whether you build person to person, you talk to people in your warm market and you share in person, or you talk through videos, or you talk on Facebook, or you talk through Instagram. It's still word of mouth advertising. So direct selling, this is the direct selling industry. And we sometimes forget about that. We think we can completely detach and just turn everything on autopilot. And there are certain things, great things that we can do to systematize and automate our business building. But we always have to remember it's the personal touch. It's building relationships, because this is a relationship industry. It is a network marketing. And to make the network work, you have to build relationships. So word of mouth advertising, word of mouth sharing, word of mouth conveying information, word of mouth is really critical. Okay, one really important basic. Second, how to grow. That's share your business ideas and build a team. So you have a product typically with your company, all right? But you also have a business concept, and that business concept, for many of us is, like the Robert Kiyosaki, you want to move out of the employee, you want to move out of the self-employed into being a business owner, and ideally even to having income producing assets that make your money works for you. But you want to get into the position of having a business and letting it leverage for you. So there's a business idea that with that, it connects to a product, it connects to a network marketing business opportunity that allows you to leverage other people to build income for you. That's the business model in network marketing in simple terms. So you do that, you share that, people appreciate that idea, understand it, and buy into it with you, and you build a team. So you share the business model and you build a team. Second thing, all right? So word of mouth, business idea, share the business idea and build a team. Now, the third thing that you need to do to be, and this is what people really fail to do. They may get to the point where they're sponsoring people finally, but the next point is you need to increase the productivity within your team. So I've heard it said, I think it was Eric Worre that has identified the fact that this is shocking, so pay attention. Your team will tend to do about a half or even a quarter of what you do. Let's say that again. Your team will tend to do about a half or the quarter of the speed that you do. In other words, let's put it in another way. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So what is your speed? Because your team speed will be about a half or a quarter typically of what your speed is. So if you're in slow motion, what's the speed of your team? Scary thought, right? But so many people think, well, they sponsor someone and then they can go away. They're on autopilot. No, people are watching you. They're watching you all the time. And they're seeing what you're doing, and they're doing about half or a quarter of what you're doing. Because a lot of times they can't even see what you're doing. I mean, like me right now, I'm like massively building foundations. I'm working like a crazy guy. I'm setting massive deadlines. Just yesterday, I finished 3 PowerPoints, 3 videos, and finished off 11 emails for a new system, a new funnel that I'm building in one day. I mean, it was wacko. I prepared some of it beforehand. I actually finalized all 3 PowerPoints and all 3 videos, all 11. Actually, I made now I made it 12 emails in one day. But does my team see that? No, they don't. So I'm doing massive activity, but what my team sees, they will do about half. What my team sees, because they might hear me share what I'm doing, and that's why leaders also should share what they're doing, because your team will feed off of that energy. They'll feed off of what you're doing. But just remember, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. So your team will tend to do a half or a quarter of what you do until. Now there's an until here, and this is the turning point in the industry where most people get lost. This is the key turning point. So your team will tend to do a quarter or a half of what you do until you develop other leaders. All right. So that's the 4th point. Identify and develop leaders in your organization. That's what creates the leverage that makes the business model work for you in the long time. There's a lot of different ways to say this, but I think Eric Worre also is famous for saying, work like nobody else has worked for 2 to 5 years, and then you can reap the rewards, those residual rewards, for the rest of your life. So work like nobody else. So that means work. So set the pace for your team, build the foundation, build depth, and build leadership. That whole thing is not going to happen until you build leadership. That's the reality. Now, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. Your team will tend to do a half or a quarter of what you do until you develop leaders. So when you identify and develop leaders, that's when the magic starts to happen. And that's the 4th critical step, because that's what allows you to step away and do less. Why? Because you're not the only leader. I mean, you're still the leader of leaders. You still have to do what you do. You still have to, encourage and build and take care of your customers and train, and you have to continue to do those things. But it's not that insanely detailed, massive, crazy action. And the other thing to think about is the speed of the leaders, the speed of the team. Can you take a little time off sometimes? Yeah, you can. Can you pull back the throttle from 100,000% down to 50,000%, down to 1,000%, even down to 100% sometimes? Yeah. But like right now, I'm in massive action, building my foundations and learning some skills about Facebook marketing, building I'm building new funnels to take our business to the next level. We have ambitions. I have a time frame to become $1 million earner in a year. And so can't do that with the current foundation and the current systems. So I'm revamping all of our systems. Now, whatever your ambitions are, your ambitions may be that, they may not be. If you want to go along for the ride and find out what I'm doing, what Grace and I are doing, then you're more than welcome to join us. We have a lot of ways to do that. We are building online. If you're interested in learning the skills to build online, got a link below on Facebook, link above on Facebook, a link below on the recording on YouTube. And you'll find a link where you can, very simple, under $100, get started with the training that you need to build online and do it in a system that is proven to build leaders and highly skilled leaders. But let's just recap and keep this short. The 4 things you need. 1, remember that this industry is built on word of mouth. It's built on building relationships. It's by sharing people until they know you, like you, and trust you. They're not going to build with you or join you. So you got to remember, just continue to share your story and build relationships. Point number 1. Point number 2, share the business idea. So remember, this is a business. You have to act like a business person. You have to treat your business like a business, and you have to share that business idea. What's your concept? I mean, share a real business concept. Like, share that we're going to build this business for 2 to 5 years, and then we're going to have a turnkey business that will run for forever. But don't try to share, it's going to happen overnight. It's going to be easy. There's no work required. If you share that idea, those are the people that you're going to attract. And you're just going to attract lazy people and tire kickers, and that doesn't build a business for you. That's the truth. But word of mouth, share that business idea and share a real business idea. And then work on increasing the productivity of your team. Train them, work with them, give them skills training. Most network marketing companies are horrible at giving skills training. But if you can develop skills yourself and then train them, or like we also do, we use Elite Marketing Pro as a system to train the leaders we want in our organization so that they have the tools and abilities to learn that. I have another system as well with someone else, but Elite Marketing Pro has been our home, and it's a leader's home for us now for 4 years, since 2016. So increase the productivity of the team and increase your own productivity because the speed of the leader is the speed of the team divided by half or a quarter, right? So your speed is measuring the productivity of your team. So, and then lastly, identify those leaders in your organization as they're coming up. Look for people that are hungry, look for people that are teachable, look for people who are willing to spend the time to learn skills, look for people who are willing to learn systems, look for people who show up to webinars and training, who ask questions. Look for those kinds of people, nurture them, build them, and develop them in your organization. Then you got diamonds. Because that's when the leverage, that's when the magic happens, and you will have built a real business. Now that'll take you 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's the truth. You'll see some benefits early on. You'll see some benefits after a year. You'll start to see some real benefits after 2 years. But if you want massive growth, it's going to take 5 years. And the time schedule depends on you in large measure. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team, and the team is the dream. Okay, that's network marketing. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. Some very basic, 4 basic concepts on what it takes. If you'd like to find out more how to build online, if you'd like to join our training team. It's not our network marketing team, our training team in Elite Marketing Pro. There is a link below. Get that product and service, and we'll start to link arms with you and work with you. We'd love to do that. So on behalf of Grace and myself, I want to thank you for joining us today, and let us know any comments that you have. We'd be delighted to give you any further insights and thoughts and get your reactions as well. Okay? All right. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.